What was something that happened in your school that caused a rule to be made? In the fall, it was always tradition for the seniors to steal as many pumpkins as possible from around town and write their class number in pumpkins on the front lawn of the school. Our grade stole so many pumpkins that local farms and families contacted police, and our school had to officially end the tradition in 2008. Texas A&M's annual bonfire got official sanction after 1935 after a farmer complained that student had stolen his entire barn for the pyre. The bonfire being official meant the administration could hand out axes and point students at trees the university wanted gone. In elementary school, when silly bands, those shaped rubber bands you could wear as bracelets, were popular, some kids wore so many up their arms that they had such poor blood circulation in their hands to the point where it was concerning. So, the principal banned silly bands. Rule made teachers to always allow kids to visit the toilet during class. Reason the rule was made: math teacher misunderstands the meaning of urgent. A kid shits his pants mid-lecture. Over the PA system, our high school principal read the following thought of the day during homeroom: a man is not a man until he kisses the lips that do not speak. After that, they had to be submitted to the secretary and approved. Up until then, you could just submit them by putting them in his basket. Our high school always had seniors do the morning announcements live over video. These two seniors always finished with a joke. One day the joke was, what did the vampire say to his girlfriend? See you next month. I believe that happened early on my freshman year. They didn't start allowing students to do announcements for 3 years, and then they were pre-recorded. Girls decided that Friday would be a day to wear weird socks. They all came with colorful socks. The school forbid non-white socks the same day. People started using Google Hangouts on their laptops. Students chatted with each other and made video calls in classrooms until like 2 days later when the principal announced that using Google Hangouts was banned. I personally don't know why the tech department allowed Google Apps to be on the laptops. Someone once lit a fire in a bathroom stall. The school shut all the bathrooms permanently unless you asked a teacher for permission. The boys complained, but the girls revolted once they realized how their periods would end up. People started a big fight where they started throwing bottles at each other, so my school banned bottles that contain more than 1 liter of water. Doesn't really stop anyone though. We had a kid put vodka in her water bottle, so we weren't allowed to bring water bottles to school at all. We were, of course, allowed to buy them from the vending machine. They told us the next student caught climbing on the roof would be expelled, so we cut that out. You cut out the roof. In middle school, a couple of jerks kept making fun of a girl because a tampon fell out of her backpack. Solution: we were banned from bringing feminine hygiene products to school. You had to go see a teacher to get one. The rule was gone in under a week. Ooh, stay with me. Ban the jerks. Crazy idea, I know. Someone snuck into the bathroom room during class, unscrewed the screws holding one of the toilets in place, and stole it. It reappeared around a week later in the sports field, so they had to pass a rule not to steal toilets. MFS stole the goddamn toilet. Can't have shit in Detroit. Can't have a shit either apparently. I live in the Alps, and it used to snow a lot during winter times. Our school uses gravel, the one with the sharp edges, as road salt. Because of the snow, most of the younger students went out in the breaks to make big snowball fights. But one day somebody didn't pay attention to his snowball and he threw it with a bunch of stones in it at another player. The boy who got hit in the face and lost one eye because of a stone in the snowball. Now we are not allowed to let snowball fights happen anymore. Did anything happen to the kid who threw it? IDK man. I don't think he got punished badly. I think he just got like 1 week of Gemeinschaftsobit where you just have to clean the classrooms and empty trash cans and scrub the tables, etc. He didn't do it on purpose. It was a bad accident. The phantom shitter. Every day, for some odd reason, someone in my school smeared shit on the floor or on the wall in the basement bathroom. They then made you have to scan an ID card to get into and out of the bathrooms. I still wonder to this day why anyone would do this. I got grey sweet pants banned in my private Christian school because I was being immodest and distracting. Edit, I realize it needs to be clarified. I'm male. You must have a huge vulva. My class was the one that got all versions of dodgeball banned for everyone. We invented a new version of dodgeball that was a free-for-all in a field. There wasn't even really a way to lose or win. There was one ball and like 30 to 40 kids. Whoever had the ball just pelted the closest person to them as hard as they could, and everyone who didn't have the ball ran in and tried to take it. Inevitably people got hurt, but no one ever reported it because it was fun. Then one day the embodiment of Randall Weems got a bloody nose and the kid ratted out the whole recess group. There was an assembly and dodgeball never happened again. I'm told that it's still banned to this day, some 15 years later. A kid from another school snuck in a class by climbing into the bottom floor window and then threw a trash can at the substitute in that class. He then tried to escape through the same window, but his pants got caught on the handle and he had to take them off. He was caught by security pretty quickly since he was the only guy walking down the street in his underwear. Anyway, after that we were never allowed to have the windows open. Not even on the second or third floors. Edit, grammar and shit. Oh my. Imagine being the security and seeing this random dude in underwear just wandering around. Man, I wouldn't stop telling this story to every single person I know. Lived in the dorms freshman year and had a friend bring his drum set over to jam. Next year a rule state no large acoustic instruments. Example, drums. Next year, kid brings large electric drum kit with amplifier cranked up to 11. It's not acoustic. I think I've talked about this on other threads, but here it goes. In 1st and 2nd grade my friends and I used to catch spiders and bring them in to school to show them off to each other and see who caught the coolest spider. Our teacher put up with it at first because we were good about not opening the containers we kept the spiders in while we were inside, and we stacked all the containers next to the door away from our stuff. That all worked well until I tripped while walking through the door. I landed on the pile of containers, which managed to open a bunch of them. Spiders scurried everywhere. An entire classroom of 2nd graders screamed. And then bringing spiders in became an official rule. Whoops. Dude jumped out the window in maths class. No jumping out of windows to waste class time. But any other reason is fine, right? Yeah, it's fine if you're trying to jump to your death. One day in 8th grade a guy asked out a girl during lunch. She said yes, and his whole friend group started clapping for him. Soon the entire cafeteria joined in clapping, even though 90% of us has no idea what we were clapping for. 3 minutes later the assistant principal comes in and lectures us for 10 minutes about how rude we were and how much trouble the school would have been in if someone from the district saw that. Clapping has been banned ever since. My high school had mass random clappings at least once a week, every week, for all 3 years that I ate lunch in the cafeteria all mayo, and I suspect many other schools were similar. Almost everyone carried around a banana for a day, but by the afternoon the principal had called an assembly and banned people from carrying around bananas. I love the random shit that kids will do for no reason. Muffins were $1 NZD at my school, and so my friend would sometimes buy like 8 at a time, since he was quite the unit. But then they made a rule where you can only buy up to 2 muffins at a time, which broke my friend, but to add salt to the wound, they bumped the prices to $1.50. Was a dark day indeed. Something similar happened at my school. There used to be a snack bar and everything was $1. Some kid kept going with $20. His mom flipped when she found out he was buying/eating so many snacks. And then the snack bar closed down. No more collecting rocks during recess. In 1st grade I started collecting rocks around the playground and in the tree line next to it. My friends joined in and soon other groups formed, and suddenly we were all stealing these rocks from each other. Kids would even ride their bikes up after school to move them between gang idiots. Sometimes the leaders would be invited to the other idiots to negotiate treaties that would fail anyway. Eventually, the principal stepped in and told us no more of it, and at that point, I realized I started a series of gang wars. And people wonder why us humans have wars. Bottle flips were banned because of my class and 2 other classes did it every 3 minute, like really every 3 minute we got. I landed one on windowsill about 40 feet up in my old high school. Still proud of that shit. Might have been my peak. At my school, some people in my class ruined senior prank and got a janitor fired. They got the janitor to let them in after hours and filled the senior lounge with sand, made the walls look like the beach, etc. Ended up causing a bit of property damage, and because no one in the class would fess up to who it was, we all ended up dragging sand out of there in our dressy clothes. There was some sort of assembly that required dressing up that day and cleaning it all up. The scope of senior prank was limited after that. People brought in weapons, so they banged backpacks. It wasn't a gun or anything. It was like a pocket knife. I'm from the country, it was pretty common to have pocket knives. What were you supposed to use instead? Carry everything? Stupid rule. You can have knives in your pocket. Ban clothes. You can hide it in your prison wallet. Ban arseholes. WTF. Got water bottles banned for them being full of clear liquor. This is something I don't get. Like, obviously getting plastered at school is bad, but I feel like there's so many better ways of doing that than having a giant clear bottle of vodka or whatever. Like if your school allows soda, make a rum and coke in the original bottle, or mix vodka with some orange juice. Again, this is a bad idea, but why is it always a big ol' bottle of straight liquor? Get creative, damn it. Principal saw a couple holding hands and deemed it too explicit, so she banned couples from being together in school grounds. It did not work. What are the teachers gonna do? They're not allowed to touch the students. So as long as the parents are good with it, the teachers can't do shit about it. The football goalposts were taken down due to someone being clever and decided to climb on it. He broke his collarbone. It was not me. We only had temporary football goals when the school had matches on. In pay we just used to cones for the goals. One of our schools had to remove the crossbars on the soccer goals because there were multiple suicide attempts using them. Like 5 or 6 over the course of a summer hike. I went to a ghetto school, I guess, because everyone else has cute or quirky stories. Mine starts with the fact that fights used to happen in the girls' restroom. They became so frequent, and one of the last fights involved numerous girls from both sides, that they made a rule of how many girls could be in the restroom at one time. Then came the monitor that sat in the hallway during lunches by the restroom. I can't remember how long this lasted, but it did work. The fighting would happen at the bus stop instead. IDK. Why we were also crazed and aggressive at 14 over 15. In my first year of high school, 2001, drinks had to be paid with a small plastic voucher. They did this so you could buy them beforehand and you wouldn't hold up the line in the cafeteria. I realized it was just a bit of green paper with the words "one drink" printed on it, and hatched a plan. We just got our first scanner at home, plus my mom had bought some sticky plastic to laminate some stuff. I scanned a couple of vouchers and got to work. Before long I had whole sheets of fake vouchers. I then laminated them and cut them out. First batch took me about 2 hours work, and I had about 200 of them, I think. They were horrible in every way. Color was off. Pixels on the paper. I even believe the back wasn't even green, since I couldn't figure out how to get the backside to be green too. They were cut by a 13-year-old with ADHD and horrible scissors too. So just imagine the most terrible fake looking thing ever. Anyways, it worked. Got me my first free drink. I probably could have free drinks for the rest of high school if I wanted to, but I just wanted to have fun. So I handed them out like they were cash, and they kinda were. Printed some more sheets. In about a week, I flooded the market with fake vouchers. They got back into the system and got sold as real vouchers, meaning I had just rigged the system completely. Anyway, took about 3 weeks for someone to notice. Maybe someone couldn't get their mouth shut. By that time I'm gonna say about half of their supply of vouchers were fakes. Drinks were cash only from then on. They raised the prices too. The bastards. When I was in high school, there was this popular toy called Pianza. It's basically a fancy spinning top. It was everywhere and everyone had it. We were spinning our Pianzas in restrooms, in the cafeteria, during lessons, everywhere all the time. It got so out of hand that they are permanently forbidden on the school premises till this day. Shit needs to be in the toilet, not on at school. Principal minus 2018. Beyblades were banned from my elementary school due to me. To give this context, I was bullied a lot in elementary school, but one of my classmates decided to take things a little far one day by stealing some of my stuff, jacket, binder, workbook, and lunchbox, to be exact, and throw them into a mud puddle that had formed due to some rain that had been going on for a while. So, I took my Beyblade, put it on the device that you inserted it and the ripcord into, and let it rip on top of his head. In short, lots of blood, me getting sent to the principal's office, and no more Beyblades at my school. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.